Hola.
Hola. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey! Good morning.
Buenos dias.
Buenos días. Buenas tardes. Buenas noches. Depending on where you are today in the world. We're going to talk about the sun.
El
sol.
Yes.
Yes. We believe that the sun has its time to be celebrated. And for a very long time...
Yeah. I was like, hold on. I'm thinking about what I used to think about, which I focused so much of my, like, maybe even rigid, ritualistic behavior on the Luna.
Mm-hmm.
The moon.
The moon.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was Luna Lady on MySpace.
MySpace, yes.
Yeah, I was. Because I had a connection to the moon, but I didn't know what the connection was, and
Yeah.
then it just became like a thing to be with the moon and the new moon and do new rituals and call in new things, and then the full moon to release, and it's all good and beautiful and wonderful and perfect and exactly the divine time for the moon's space.
Yeah.
And now
the my moon space.
The my moon space. My moon space. I get it.
And now is an amazing time to appreciate,
celebrate
some light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the moon. So
some warmth.
Yeah, some warmth.
Yeah,
warmth. Warmth is a big. It's a big deal. Yeah, and all that we've been taught, maybe, about the sun in health ways. In what?
Yeah, I'm like, are you choosing?
Yes.
Your words.
I'm choosing my words.
Consciously.
Yes. So in my world, it's always back to healthcare, or that's the story that I've been telling for a really long time. Had a really, to tell you.
Yeah, and my world often goes back to like mental health care, right?
Mental health, yeah.
Which I'm calling it a different term for that at some point. And yes, that's been where I go back to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your mind, which much more about the heart. Anyway, yes.
So M, growing up, because she's light-skinned, was told one thing. What were you told?
Oh, well, I feared the skin. I mean, I slathered myself in suntan lotion. I mean, just the stories about cancer and
the ozone layer.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like how sensitive I am, and yeah, I feared it. I mean, I feared the sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feared that, like, I was fragile and needed to be protected, and
yeah, that the sun was a danger, that it was harmful, that it was damaging.
Absolutely. And it was getting more damaging, and we were like, you know, like it was more and more increasing, and that basically, like,
Don't go out into the sun.
Yeah, and to me it was
die.
like, it's inevitable that that sun will bring you cancer.
Mm-hmm. Right, which is a story that I'm new to, because obviously I didn't have to worry about that growing up.
I mean, I look so amazingly sun-kissed right now, you probably can't tell.
She is, because she goes out and she doesn't wear sunscreen anymore.
Nope.
But I would tell my patients, lather up the sunscreen, really after SPF 30. There's no real benefit, but go ahead and do the SPF 50.
There's even 115 now.
There is.
Wow.
And just like the food pyramid, just like, what else? Statins. Like, we, as a society, as a culture, humans run with one idea and they just go for it, and it just becomes their habit, their like everyday everything. And so 1 study, 2 studies, 3 studies, maybe a couple of years of research over the sun being harmful to us, and we ran with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We ran with it, and we've been running with it for decades.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're seeing, and there have always existed, the studies, the research, the evidence to show that the sun is actually incredibly important.
Super important.
Super duper duper important. And
maybe this fits in now or later, like everything I was doing to protect myself, which was mostly sunblock or sunscreen, actually causes cancer.
yeah, the chemicals in sunblock and sunscreen in most mainstream brands that you will find at the grocery store, the corner store, will have some sort of ingredient in it that has cancer-inducing effects.
There you go.
So that, I mean, and we're not told that. We're not taught that. I certainly didn't educate on that when people came in. And so what are the benefits? What are some of the health, medicinal, therapeutic benefits of the sun?
Well, I mean, for me now, I know, and a lot of people, I mean, what is out there, and people do understand, is how important vitamin D is.
Right. It's not just a vitamin, it's a hormone.
And the importance of it for our mental health, and the importance of it to fight cancer.
Right. Yes.
Like, it's super important.
Yeah.
Super duper important.
It's an immune booster.
Mm-hmm.
Sunlight is a total boost to your immune system. All your cells, like spiritually, you can think about it as just like being lit up, right? So that cancer-producing cells can't reproduce.
Because we all have some level of it circulating.
Right.
And our bodies
Can flush it out with.
know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, we know what to do. We have an immune system for a reason and a purpose, and it works.
It works. It always
And
works.
we trust it and love it. Yeah.
Cherish it and nourish it
Hug it.
and hug it and surround yourself with people that believe similarly, because the designation of immunocompromised is a designation by another human being that doesn't actually get to decide what or how your body operates unless you give them that power.
You get to.
You get to, right? So what are the other things? Elevates the mood. The sun elevates your mood. It's amazing for mental health, obviously. The vitamin D benefits, immune boosting benefits.
And
There are, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No?
There are studies that show that it can help prevent melanoma. I can link the
I
studies
yeah.
here
Yeah.
on the YouTube.
Yep. On the YouTubes.
Yeah. What else?
So I'm gonna say this kind of maybe simply, and you can expand on it for me. But the sun kills off stuff too, right?
But like,
I'm trying to think like, I guess in some ways like heat. I'm thinking about like putting my running shoes out
oh yeah.
in the sun,
Yeah.
right? And like it kills off all the,
Yeah, the temperature can have antimicrobial
right, exactly.
effects.
Right.
I
I was like, bacteria, what is growing in my running shoes?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah.
It's like this natural, I don't know, oven, whatever.
What is it that
I
we
don't
use?
know that it's-
Sterilizer.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of the
Hand.
machine that we put our tools in when we operate. It's called, I'll think of it. Anyway,
Yeah.
so it helps with sleep
Mm-hmm.
because more sunlight you get, the more melatonin is produced at night.
Neurotransmitters.
It promotes bone growth, decreases blood pressure, it promotes weight loss, and just an overall better quality of life. If you're out in the sun much of the day, my mom's out in the sun from like sunrise to sunset.
Yeah.
That woman has a primo life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it
the other
feels good.
and it feels good.
It does.
It really does. If you go out and you sweat in the sun, that's like a prescription for
Heaven.
vibrant health right
Heaven.
there. Heaven.
Yeah.
Heaven on earth. Yeah.
It feels good.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you're in Tejas, it feels good if you're in a pool, too.
Yeah, it does, which we're going to do soon.
Yeah.
There's this song that I had played and sung at my at Micah's baby blessing, or the belly blessing. It's from yogic traditions. It's Ra, Ma, Da, Sa, Sa, Se, So, Hum. You can look it up on the little phone that you use to look up music. And Ra is a sun, which is a frequency of energizing, lifting up. Ma is the earth. Ma is the moon, which is the frequency of receptivity. And that, to me, says that we've adopted the moon so much. I mean, ancestrally, culturally, the moon is a very important. It's a deity of itself. In my culture, in Celtic culture, like in numerous cultures around the world, and I'm not downplaying the moon at all, but it's definitely one of receptivity, which is something that the feminine energy hasn't really. I think that's why we had such a deep connection to the moon over these past century or two, because of our need to be receiving, to allow, to let things come to us as in the female energy form. Whew. So, Em got this beautiful bath soak. It's called The Rising Sun. It's from Wild Yonder Botanicals.
It's 2013.
Since 2013. And I don't know when she's going to do it, but
Smells like
heaven.
Heaven.
It's amazing. She got
Heaven.
it at Lovecraft, which is a local conscious clothing boutique in Austin,
Yum.
Texas.
Yum. I'm super excited.
So, what are some things you can do? Go out into the sun.
Play.
Play in the sun. Don't be scared of the sun. Embrace the
Love
light.
the sun.
Embrace it.
The sun is your friend.
Do what makes you feel safe, whatever that is. If you want to put sunblock on, that's fine.
Wear
But
a hat.
be conscious
maybe.
about it. Yeah. Wear a hat. Don't go out at the brightest times of the day. Sun gazing is something that is that's another thing that's done around the world in indigenous cultures, and the best times to do it, don't do it in the middle of the day when the sun is at its brightest, because it can damage your eyes.
Yeah. You can build up to it.
Yeah.
There's plenty of, if you like
Sunrise,
search
sunset.
sun gazing. It gives you like a method. Yeah. And yeah, I guess to me it's like living with the sun, right? Appreciating the container of the day with the sun rising and the sun setting, and considering like having that as part of your day, to be in it outside, even if it's just for a moment, and appreciate the natural cycle of our light.
La vida. Okay, that's it. I
Go
love
dance
that.
in
The
the sun
container.
if you want to.
Yeah.
The container. The
Yeah.
bookends of the day. I love them so much.
Yeah. All right. This has been the Soul Flow. You like the name? We love you.